guys, welcome to SuperCon. Appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully you guys have a good time, right? So far? Yes. How many floors? You got 2 floors here and stuff?
Yeah. I don't know. I got lost.
So let's see here. Hold up the Power Race Twist for Instagram or whatever you got to sign. I'm gonna take an Instagram picture real quick. I'll say VIP number 1. Let's hold it up. All right. Ready? 1,
Gangsta style.
2, 3. Alright, perfect. My Instagram it. You guys on Facebook, Instagram?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. David Frank official fan page. And Instagram, JDFFN. You guys know what the FFN stands for? Yeah, some of the fans were named it Fearless Frank Nation, and I kind of just stuck with it. VIP, July 4th. All right, well, I thought, let me tell you a little rundown how this works. What we do is we'll do like, questions and answers. Usually when I'm at bigger cons, I usually do a little bit more of a quiet VIP Q&A stuff and all that. Don't worry, we'll take pictures afterwards and I will sign whatever you guys have, your item or whatever and stuff like that. I just do it because I think the VIPs are pretty cool. Also, I like to inspire people and I love the fans. And after all, we're here at 4th of July. My little girl's in the back over there. Jenna, say hi. We're going to do an episode of Doll Talk and get Dave Yost to do the little doll there. So anyway, so the family, I got July 4th, and went on my anniversary and did a con, so I think we're doing pretty good. Anyway, I'll be in birthday September 4th. I'll be doing a con out there too. September in Brazil, so it should be pretty fun. Yeah, it'll be awesome. Now I got to make sure I get my visa. So there's a few cons that I could not come to. Puerto Rico Comic Con, because obviously I was filming, Mega Force. So, I thought the fans would like that a little bit better. I'll go to Puerto Rico Comic Con next year.
Take me with you.
Yeah,
I'll give you a tour. I'll give you a tour.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let me speak of Puerto Rico then. I've never told the fans this. I was driving to Puerto Rico and just got there, and the cops were like, looked in my window and he recognized me. He says, "Come here," and I'm like, "Oh man, I'm gonna give this guy an autograph." Gave me a ticket for not seatbelt. And gave me a ticket, gave Tammy a ticket. I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, man, I like your work." And I was like, "Cool. Hey, make sure you come to the con so I'm gonna get to sign your autograph." But anyway, got a ticket there, so I never paid it. So I'll get a warrant for it. So anyway, guys, thanks for coming. There's some waters and chips or whatever else. What else they got there? Sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes no. Yeah, there we go. Scooby snacks. All right. Very cool. Do you guys have any questions that you guys want to ask or anything like that? Yes, Batman.
I'm sorry. I'm a big fan. I was wondering, how did you get into Power Rangers in the first place?
Well, back in the days, just open audition calls, just had an agency and they didn't want to represent me, and then I was like, look, I cut my hair, you need to, because I had a long hair, I had a ponytail before I started. So I cut my hair and then they didn't want to represent me, so they said, here, take this. And it was a script called Phantoms, and yeah. I wonder why they're called Phantoms. Anybody know why it was originally called Phantoms or no? Anybody knew it was called that?
No.
I found a script, my audition script that had, what was it? I should have brought it. It was so crazy. Walter was a different character, it was something different. It was just a different script, and it was nothing to do with the show, kind of, It started, but it was kind of, what it was. So that's kind of how it started, auditioning and, just getting the part. It feels good when they call you back and you get the role. Because when I went back, I was the Green Ranger. Well, I wasn't the Green Ranger yet. In my head, I already was. But I went back for my audition call, and there was me and a whole bunch of girls there, and they were trying out for the Yellow Ranger. And they, I'll stand up for a little bit so y'all can see me. And then they were auditioning the Yellow Ranger at the time, and so I was teaching all the girls, and then worked with Twee a little bit, and taught her some moves. And I was sweating and working, and was thinking, man, I hope I get this role, because I'm really busting my butt over here. And yeah, got the role. So it was kind of like the Gung Ho episode. That's probably why they wrote it. That's pretty much how my audition went. And anybody remember that episode?
Yeah.
The first episode where you just walked right in?
Oh yeah.
They're following you around the parties?
They follow me over even now.
Rita just
Even the buddies at the con follow me around. There's nothing new. Did you see that skit with the family, the parents being putties? You didn't see that? Oh, it's funny. It's funny. The wife or the girlfriend says, "You gotta meet my parents, but they're a little different." He's like, "What do you mean different?" And then they came in and they were putties and they're like, "Ooh!" You gotta see the videos.
I've seen that video.
Yeah, it's like, what are they? She's like, putties. She's, you know, my dad lost his job, got fired from Real Patrol, and you know, stuff like that. Then on the end, they're like all drinking. He's like, "Ah, man, I'll see you later," and hits him in the chest, and he blows up. He's like, "My dad, I told you he has health problems." That's pretty well done. So whoever wrote that, man, it's pretty funny. I like it. It was a whole family of putties. What's up, buddy?
How long were you up Howling?
Still am. So, 20th year anniversary, you know, many moons from now. People come up to, "Oh, I feel so old." It's thanks, buddy. How do I feel?
Any word on your challenge to Punk?
No. I saw CM Punk the other day. I like, he's a nice guy. I think
He is.
But he got a little smaller. So he's like my size now. So it's like perfect.
It would be an
I
amazing
saw him.
match.
Well, the funny thing is he came up to make his way up Wizard World and to make a special effort to see me. And I know him with bald head and, you know, like not the chops and stuff. And so he had long hair and chops, so he comes up all the way to the green room. "Hey, you know, Jason," and I hugged him thinking, "I don't know who this is." I'm like, "Oh, hey man, it's good seeing you again." He was like there was no chit chat, so I told the promoter and he's like, "That's CM Punk." I was like, "Oh, that was CM Punk?" I'm so sorry. So I went back up there. I was like, "So how are things going?" I didn't recognize you with the, you know, chops and stuff like that. Cool thing about Zordon now, we don't have to talk face to face, we can Skype. It's like Zordon Skype me, buddy. But, I mean, he pokes me a lot on Facebook. Kind of, but, just don't poke me. Google me, it feels funny when you Google me. White Black Ranger, yes.
There was this rumor, but I don't know if it's true or not, that you were coming.
Yeah, to Megaforce?
Well, besides the Fat War thing.
Oh. Huh? What fanboy thing? I'm not even
No,
doing
besides the Legendary War thing.
Oh, besides that?
After that.
Well, I was already back. How can you say AC/DC's back in black when he's wearing black? Yeah, I went to Megaforce. We are talking about doing like a Green Ranger movie, so, you know, Saban and all that stuff. There's a lot of big writers that want to write it, but we're talking about it. I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con, not doing autographs. Well, I agreed to do autographs as long as it was free for like 2 hours. They want, you know, them charge people. So I'm going to go there for San Diego. And of course, you know, get my hand on a few gold morphers and stuff that are special limited edition. I mean, I'll probably only get like 10, but, you know. It stinks that it's only a San Diego Comic-Con, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that's such a big merchandising thing that, you know what I mean? And the funny thing is, I did not know that I did not know that they didn't sell the morpher until I was on the show, and I was like wearing the silver one on the show, and I'm like, dude, that's not even the right belt. And they're like, it's fine, helmet. I'm like, it's great. They're like, oh, really? Yeah, just wear it. And I was like, well, you don't tell the fans because I got to deal with it for the next years to come. You don't. You know what I mean? You don't get questions. And he's like, just tell them you had extra stuff in the closet, and, you know, and try to find your powers. And I was like, okay, that's not going real well. But I didn't know because I was getting a gold morpher because Saban's like, they have so many. I told Saban, like, you know, I was like, I got this suit, that prop, and they called me, like, do you have any props? And I was like, I don't know why. They're like, can you bring some? And so I was looking for the gold. I have the original gold morpher from Mark Richardson, and was just going to buy one, but they don't sell them. I was like, what? You guys don't sell them? But, yep, exclusive San Diego Comic-Con thing, I guess.
Can you tell us about the uniforms from the movies?
The uniforms, yeah, they probably make way better uniforms now. A lot of props to people. In fact, the Dragon Dagger I have, the original one, is terrible. It's just like, you know, the ones that are made now are really super cool. Tony, remember the guy that made that one in New York Comic-Con? Yes. Yeah, he came up to me. You there? Or?
Last weekend?
Yeah, he's made. Yeah, okay.
He's making the Sword of Darkness.
Yeah. So anyway, the costumes are. That's why I need the Sword of Darkness. The costumes are being made. They were made in the movies and they're super heavy. They were made out of rubber and stuff like that. So they were really cool looking, but just super heavy and hard to do any stunts and stuff like that. But you know, I was a big tire. I was like a Michelin tire. Yeah.
Alright, I want to start off by saying that you were my hero as a kid. I'm sure you do that a lot. I hope that kid's only for you.
The theme song kicks in.
You know, 20 years later, you know, you're still withholding the values and the virtues that you taught us as kids, and I think that's all inspiring.
Thank you, buddy.
And I just want to give you a round of applause.
Thank you, man.
I wanted to know personally, what was your least favorite through favorite seasons of film, and also what costumes were your least favorite to your favorite?
Well, I mean, I don't have an issue with Turbo. It's just I didn't finish that season, so it was kind of one of those things, you know. I didn't really like the Turbo costumes. I didn't really even like a costume without a chest piece. You know what I mean? I felt naked. And, but there's personal reasons why I like it. You know, my brother played the brother in Zeo, so he passed away, which I like that season. I love Johnny Bosch, who played the Black Ranger. He can't replace Walter. I like the old cast, you know, working with them, but I didn't get a chance to work with Walter and stuff that long. So it was one of those things that it was like, it's unfortunate, but the new guys came in, and when the new guys came in, it was really awkward for everybody. You know what I mean? Like taking their job and stealing their powers, and you're going to a peace conference and stuff like that. I do like to make clear though, because there's Q&A panels and now the Power Rangers, I do like to make clear that when that move happened, you know, 3 of them wanted to do this, negotiate for more money. 3 over here, I was just happy with what I did, and I was just passionate about it, and I didn't really care, so I wasn't involved. It was not the fact of trying to make the show better and union for everyone. That's not the issue. Mega Force, I didn't care. I'll do it for Dalton. I really don't care. You know what I mean? I make a good living at what I do, and I got clothing company. It just doesn't matter. It's what the fans. I mean, I really care about the fans. That's why I think, you know, with the Green Ranger movie, Dark Knight, stuff for you guys could really sell off. So it was never about the money when I started it. Even now today, I mean, you know, 4th of July is a lot of actors aren't here just because of Independence Day, and I just don't want to do it. And I'd, you know, spend some stuff with the family and you guys, since you guys are a big part of my life and stuff like that. But it was just independent. You know, they were doing their own thing. I was doing my own thing. Never was going to be the leader on the show, nor did I ever ask for it. It just happened because that's what I'm here to tell you guys, that if you're passionate about something, things will happen. If you're passionate about what you do, everything else follows. I mean, if you're passionate about making costumes, comic books, and being an artist, don't listen to the people that say, you're never going to be nothing in life. Imagine a little kid skateboarding. Why are you wasting your time on that? Next thing he's Tony Hawk and he can buy whatever he wants because he's passionate about skateboarding. And I think it's so important to do that. I think there's wrong reasons when you do something. If you're going to do something for the money, then just don't do it because you're just not going to succeed. And if you are, you're going to be miserable. It's, you know, money doesn't make things, you know, it's personal things. And I know everyone says, well, if I had money, my personal life would be better. Yes, I agree. Money's not a bad thing, but at the same time, you take a sad, poor person and put him in a rich place, now he's a poor, sad, rich person. So it really doesn't matter, it's how you are as a person. And I think because I came from no money, and you know, I lived at 16, I lived in like a trailer home, you know, no electricity, no carpet. And it wasn't like a trailer home, like a cool one, it was a commercial trailer home. So it was square like this, and there was about 9 doors. And all the rooms looked the same. My dad's like, you could have any room. And it was like, great, what about this? Well, they all looked the same. You know, so at nighttime when the lights were off, we lived on 5 acres in Fontana, which there was no lights, no electricity. If you think about how you had to shower, you have to get a propane, which you need propane, to heat up the water, then you got to put the water in like a 5-gallon bucket of thing, and then you fill that hot water with cold water to make it medium, and then you carry your 5-gallon thing to the outhouse, which you don't have bathrooms, so you go in there and then you shower, and everything was very limited and fast, shower quick, you know, lights, we didn't have switches, so it wasn't like we were poor. My dad was a truck driver, and he tried to do the best thing he could for me, and that's just what it was. So when I got on the show, it had nothing to do with money. I was just happy to flip the switch. Boom, cool. You know what I mean? Electricity. You know, so when we bought the house, my dad bought the house, and we started growing. It was funny because we were probably like 2 hillbilly kids coming in going to the realtor, hey man, does this come with a carpet? The guy's like, yes. We're like, sweet, cool, man, let's check this out. What is that? Oh, yeah. Oh, I really screwed on that. So we're like switching switches and stuff like that. So I think I appreciate the value of money and what money can do, but at the same time, it's like we were, you know, super happy out there. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Yes.
Just wanted to, you know, I can't say it better than other people can say it, but you've been extremely influential in my life, in all our lives. You've helped a lot, you know, given us direction, showed us what heroism is. You know, as a young kid, you kind of have to observe heroism in order to grow into it.
Yeah.
So just wanted to say thank you for that.
Thank you, man. And you guys are big. You guys help me too. I love hearing the stories. That stuff like that is really what it matters to be. That's what I tell a little girl, other people. It's like you start karate to try to change people's lives. You know, a police officer becomes a police officer to change the world. And when I was there, it really does. Now I can really see more of the benefits. But I've been the same, green, 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 than I am now. Green, green, green. And there's no gap in between of where I dropped off the map or, you know, disappointed this fan for not signing anything. You don't read that stuff because it does not happen. You know, it's like, hey, what are you walking away for? Hey, you know, I try to do as best as I can. And I think when people say, I do the best I can't make everyone happy, that's true in a sense, but at the same time, when you're in a public eye, I disagree with that. Because if you're scheduled to sign from 2 to 3, and you ain't got nothing to do from 3 to the next day, then stay. That's just how I feel, you know what I mean? My little girl, she means a lot to me, so when she wants to meet somebody, it would be sad to say, oh, he left. You know, he had to leave for no reason, because you don't have to leave, but anyway. That's what I just believe in, and I think I'm a big supporter of fans. Without fans, you don't have a show. And I've always seen that, regardless of, you know, I gotta make money from Saban. Who cares? They'll do whatever. I went back to the reunion show. It ain't about that. That's why it's hard to have questions like to other Rangers. Hey, how come you didn't do that? Because my answer is completely different. I'm not gonna make no one look silly. I don't want no one to hate me, but that's the truth. You know, and it's as big as it is because I don't know why the Green Ranger's been some icon. You know, you go to Hot Topics, and the new shirt they released is a different color though. It's like black diamonds with the, you know. But anyway, they do their best they can. But that's what happens with the shows. Like they're like, oh, nobody will know. I'm like, trust me, dude, everybody knows. And I didn't realize that because when you're all kids, you don't. Hey, look at that, what's this saying? You know. And now as you've grown up, you're like, what? You know what I mean? And what? Rita's mouth don't match when you're like, So, yes.
Oh, we're talking.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask you something first, but I remember when I was a kid, when you first came on as the White Ranger and the helmet came off. I was sitting in I was actually in a gym class, and it was an after-school program. And you took it off, we're all surrounded around the TV, watching. I'm like, I bet you it's Tommy, I bet you it is. And took it off. Like when Kimberly passed out, I almost passed out. That's when I'm all wild out. But we were talking about it on one of the Facebook pages, on Facebook pages. Yeah. And you ever read any of those? Like last week when they had the big debate over, well, I brought you up, of course, because my shield and stuff came in. And then they started talking about the red the next day, the black the day after, and it just went out of control. You ever read these things?
You know, the thing is, when it comes to like, I'll stand up. You know, when it comes to spending time or doing other stuff, I hate taking time away from the social media thing because I'm very limited on time. I used to read, but then when you sometimes read about yourself, it's very disturbing, and you know, you read all these things like, you know, you could change weight and people have something to say, and then, you know, you're ugly in that picture. It's like, dude, look in the mirror and judge yourself. You know what I mean? This is a fan page. So when I do read stuff about karate and about, oh, that fight looks fake, this is like, dude, it's just, it never wins. So I try to focus on my page, that I open it and I see positive stuff. If there's any negative stuff, it's like, boop, 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 you know, block, boop, boop. And so I spend the time. And I just feel bad sometimes if I have the opportunity to spend, I don't watch TV either. I know it's terrible, but I just don't because I don't really have time. I feel guilty. Like if I'm in the living room and I watch TV, I'm thinking, oh man, there's probably 150,000 people that want to ask questions right now. So I run to social media and answer it. That's like my entertainment. Skydiving, karate. So I'm a little lost with TV. I do say when I'm on tour with people, I don't know who's who, but I do got to watch an episode of Walking Dead and stuff like that. Yes. But you know, and then Arrow, I watch that, and that's probably when I talk about Arrow is because I never watched TV. On the way to New Zealand for filming, I was like, great. You know, there's a name, Oliver. His best friend's name's Tommy. He's green. I mean, it's got to be a good show. So I started watching it, but it's relaxing. I guess sometimes it's just hard to relax because I feel like I got so much things to do. You know what I mean? So, oh, Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question for the Megaforce episode, the final battle. The Green Ranger helmet has silver streaks. Do you know why?
Yeah. Well, you see, it was sold to Disney, and you know, it sold to Disney, and the Disney just kind of did their own thing. I don't think they paid attention to detail. They just didn't care. They look at a picture and they're like, okay, I gotta try to make this. Even the costume in Megaforce was all weird material, and you know, of course, I never cared about that stuff at all because I was just an actor. I was like, okay, let's go. Who cares? Put it on, man. These kids aren't gonna. Now I'm like, hey, man, that's not. And the producer's like, when did you ever care about that? I said, dude, now because I get questions. Thousands of questions from fans, and I got to make sure I know what to tell them. But they just did it. Disney did, and then they had it. In, you know, I brought this helmet, which Anarchy makes good helmets. Which you know, I have different prop helmets and stuff, and I was going to use all that, and I used the communicator. I think Tony bought, you know, the one that goes deep, 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 deep. You know, it was annoying me all night, didn't I? But I wore that one, and you know, just my own props. So they don't know. They don't pay attention. They don't think you guys really like know that kind of stuff. They're like, oh, it's a silver. Who's really gonna know that? I'm like, oh, as soon as I post a picture, you got the wrong belt. I was like, see? There you go. Why are you wearing that ugly helmet? See? There you go. But yeah. Yes.
Once again, like Derby keeps saying, thanks so much for sticking to your morals. Thank you for never being caught by the police, taking down, drinking drugs, doing drugs. Because I'm gonna tell you something. It's so hard when your heroes are taken down, and it takes you down so much. Because as a kid, you were one of my inspirations, and I needed something like that because every day I was thrown down and beat down. And Power Rangers was one of the things that uplifted me. It got me into karate, and into kung fu, and into martial arts, and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I don't think people understand, like, sometimes they're like, oh, how does a show change your life? It's like, or how does a show? It's like, look, first of all, when you listen to music, you know, we all got that special song where we think of this, and that, and this, and that, and you have a special, it's the same thing with the TV show. You know what I mean? You can go there and turn it on and just get away from the world. And it's important to me to stay in shape, because I am a role model, and I do take it serious, and you know what I mean? And when I hear other things like that stupid extra guy that was one time on the show, got paid $40 that killed those people, and it's like, oh, the Red Ranger, double homicide or whatever. He's on the page now. It's like, where are they now? It's the guys, prisons like that has nothing to do with us at all. But the media sometimes feeds on that, you know. And but here's the real reason too, is like I looked up to a lot of people, and when I met my childhood stars, I was just devastated, mad, upset, and I was promised I'd never be like that ever again. You know, I liked Knight Rider when I was a kid. You know, he'd shine me on, didn't say hi to me. I was like, what a punk when I was 8, you know. And so, of course, when I saw him at the Hollywood Parade, I see everybody, you know, David Hasselhoff, and, you know, I saw him, and I just went like this. You know, and I felt better about myself. You probably don't even know what I was doing, but that's what happened when I was like 8 years old at Universal. My wife would be like, let it go, but I don't. And now, and then, you know, I met Van Damme, and I didn't really like his attitude at all, and I left my own premiere because it just, you know, was the vibe. And then I never remember, I always remember, Steve Cardenas said he was at this party, which I never did all this. He was at this party, and he ran into Lee Majors, who's the Bionic Man. And Steve was like, dude, I was so sad. I said, why? He said he was drunk against the wall, he was red, he was like, hey, shit. And Steve said he looked at this guy who he looked up to and was like, what a shame. And when I heard that story too, I was like, wow, you know, it's very important. It is, you guys keep me in line too, though. You know, we're not all perfect, and you know, we all don't sin, we all do stuff, but you guys keep me in line. Because it is important, you know, when I want to punch someone in the face and I want to get arrested and stuff. But, you know, so. Rage in the Cage.
That like 19-year-old kid who was trash talking to you?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah.
I want to.
Yeah, I did too. Trust me.
So, I don't know how many people are in here are martial artists, but I'm a martial artist because of you. It started the whole thing and found my dojo, and I'm an instructor now, so I like to travel to places and get to train with other people. Do you have anybody that you want to train with, but you haven't yet got to train with?
Well, the people I want to train with are like, you know, big time, like Anderson Silva and stuff. I've got a chance to train with a lot of UFC guys. When you reach a certain point, like a master level, it's just about time you put into the arts and all that. So I'm able to go around a lot of cool people. But there's a lot of people I like to train with, but I do enjoy training. And so I went with Master Toddy in February, got Marjan, which is like master under the Thailand government, and Tammy Fott, she got her crew card, and so she's a teacher now. And That was fun, just to get away from everything, and actually just to show up on the floor as a student and not care about just what are we gonna do. I don't have to think about. I don't think about what I teach anyway. I can go up there and just do this all day long. But I like working with students. That's why I have boot camps and things like that I do. That's fun, and so I like training people. I like traveling around and training people. So I was thinking, I have something that I'm coming out now with that I'll be able to, people can log on and be able to train with me and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do several free classes just to, just to get people started in the martial arts, because we did start a lot of kids, and because I was, from a real martial arts school, I did get a lot of people involved, and my character was a real martial artist. And being a real martial artist is like there's a thing called humble, humble. I live in humble, but anyway, and I think it's important. And when you meet someone else that just like brags, that was the issue I had with Austin, just too much. Like and I just feel that if you are training, then you don't really. I mean, I'll go into a jiu-jitsu school now. I'm a purple belt, but I went straight in as a white belt. I don't care. But I have a target on my head. Everybody wants to beat me up, and everybody wants to fight me and stuff. So it does make me fight harder. And so I mean, it hasn't happened. So it sucks. Even when I'm old, I'm gonna hit you with my cane, dude. I swear. Go ahead, and then I'll go over here. Go ahead.
Yeah, what influenced you to get into mixed martial arts, and who do you have winning Saturday night?
Mixed is Silva fights?
Yeah.
Silva, yeah.
I got a tattoo on my foot of Silva. Because I figured if I put a V tattoo on my foot, and then I have an alligator, and then I have the spider web, and then I have the G's and the tap, I figured when I hit someone, they'd be like, I don't know, a spider hit me, and then an alligator came, and then I saw, the spider web came, and then I saw Jesus. Pretty cool. But I think definitely Silva. What got me into mixed martial arts was just, I just like karate. You know what I mean? I just love karate. I love skydiving. You got those die-hard skydiving fans out there. You got the die-hard karate people. You got the die-hard Comic-Con people that come to every show, that knows all the stuff, that this is like your guys' sport, And when I started, I didn't know anything. Like, they're like costume contests. I'm like, ooh. But then I started learning all the superheroes, and then you have to understand, when I was a kid, I used to collect comics, X-Men and all Marvel. Never liked DC, sorry Batman, but the thing is, I liked Batman, I just didn't understand. And here's my wife Tammy there, she teaches now in school and stuff like that. Anyway, so I used to collect comic books, and then it was a very hard decision for me, because I had like the Wolverine's first appearance, like 3 issues of the Incredible Hulk thing, and all these other giant-size X-Men, all these mint-condition books that go for a fortune now. And so I took my whole comic book collection when I was 17, and I sold it to buy my first karate school. And I had my first job at 13, going back to the whole living on the property thing. I wanted a remote control car that was like $200, I was like, oh, it's Batman. And my dad was like, well, you need a good job. And I was like, what? So I got a job at a restaurant. I was small too. I was 99 pounds, 5'1" or 5'2"-ish when I was 16 to get my car. And they used to, no one knows this, but they used to, nickname called Mouse is what I used to be called in high school, and because I was so small. But I had my first job, and got Employee of the Month. Those guys still, to this day, they still work there. And my mom was like, we're at Sundowners. It was called Sundowners Restaurant in Fontana. All the guys still remember you. They're so, because when you do something like that and then become somebody, you always pay attention to the roots that you came from, and it's cool. But that's never changed with the Hollywood thing. But I had my first job, and then I earned my money, and it was like, I had like 200-something bucks, and my dad was like, I thought you were gonna buy the car. I was like, nah, I don't really want the car. So I like worked so hard for it, I didn't want to spend it and stuff like that. But maybe forgot your question. See, did I just yeah, ADD T, always doing dumb things.
I will say you take a lot of heat on like Facebook and everything for your page. A lot of people bash you, say you don't get on your, you don't respond to everybody. But I'll tell you, you're on there almost all hours of the night. Because I don't sleep. I work graveyards. You're always on there.
Yeah,
you do your best.
No, yeah.
And you are extreme motivation for a lot of people. I've talked with you before, and you've been a lot of motivation for me to continue going and not just giving up, because I've gone through hell and back. And it's a great thing, and I appreciate it. But what I really want to ask is that there's a fan-made movie that's coming out this year. They got a Kickstarter going for it. They're doing an Evil Rebuilt. They're bringing Zed. Have you seen anything about it?
Yeah,
Have any ideas towards
I talked
it?
to Dominic, and it's just the problem with that is it's not franchise approved. It'll never be franchise approved. And I'm too worried about risking my relationship with the real Green Ranger me that could go worldwide than a fan thing. And it's unfortunate because I think Dominic does really good work, and I told him, and it's like he can do what he wants, but he's just never going to get rights. I mean, I've worked with someone for 20 years. There's no way that someone like that, like Chaim, unique individual, going to give you something. That's like me going up to you and saying, hey man, how much money you have? Can I get half of it right now? It's like, well,